Hey, what's up, Internet peoples? Let's talk about that Morbius trailer. So, right off the bat, let me just say I apologize for the poor audio quality. My microphone broke a few days ago while I was filming another video. so, yeah, I ordered a new one. It should be in the next week or so. So until then, you're going to have to deal with this. Unfortunately, I don't have a backup, so I apologize for that. So hopefully it doesn't sound too bad, and this is still watchable. But I just really wanted to get this video out because the trailer just came out today, and I just saw it, and I had a few thoughts off the top of my head. They're very fresh. Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to say I'm not super familiar with the Morbius character. I really wasn't into the vampire magic-like characters in the Marvel Universe. I really didn't care much about Doctor Strange or Blade or Morbius. I know Morbius was a Spider-Man villain, and my knowledge of him pretty much is limited to his appearance in the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s.
I'll feed on you! Wanna feed on me? You don't know where I've been!
So that's my frame of reference for the character. I'll probably do more research on him later before the movie comes out. So I can just have more to go off of, and I can compare them better when I actually see the movie and look at his comic book origins. So I'm kind of, I guess, in the demographic of I don't know much about this character. This is kind of a new ground for me. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I do think it looks interesting. The movie does look kind of like a vampire version of the Hulk story in many ways. Like you have the scientist who, is trying to cure something and then experiment with this new thing, and then it just turns him into a monster of some kind that he can't control. It kind of reminds me of the Hulk in that way. We'll see. Now, this is part of Sony's Spider-Man universe that they're trying to build. Seems like they're very slowly trying to build towards a Sinister Six movie still. They still have their hopes set on that. It does seem like it has a very similar feel to the Venom trailer that came out a little while back, for the Venom movie, because that movie came out a while ago. I'll be honest, I didn't see that movie because it just didn't look interesting enough to me, and the idea of a Spider-Man villain movie without Spider-Man just did not appeal to me. I probably still will see it at some point. I still haven't seen it. I just haven't cared enough. I've had other things going on in my life. But this movie does look interesting, and I actually may see this one. Jared Leto looks like he could play a decent Morbius. And again, my only frame of reference is that cartoon, so I just have that to go off of. But he looks like the part. That little shot at the end of the trailer with him like going, with his new Morbius look, it looks really cool. And I'm interested to see how that goes. One thing I found was really interesting was all the Spider-Man Easter eggs that we see. We see a Sam Raimi Spider-Man or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man reference, like that poster in the background we see here. It's kind of this image leaked a few days ago before the trailer came out. And that's definitely Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. That's the Sam Raimi costume. It just has murderer written on it. I don't know what that means. Maybe this is, because it's taking place in a post-Spider-Man Far From Home world where everyone believes Spider-Man is a bad guy. Maybe that's why they have that going on. But I find it interesting that they use the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Maybe because that's the Spider-Man that they can use without, stepping on Marvel's toes a bit. What also is interesting is they also have references to Spider-Man Far From Home and that whole universe, the MCU, because Vulture shows up at the end of the trailer. Like, that's weird. I doubt he has a significant role in the movie, but maybe just as like a cameo to set up Sinister Six, but obviously it seems like at some point Morbius goes to prison for doing something, probably killing a guy and sucking his blood. And then we see Vulture just standing there going, "Yo, hey, what's up, Doc?" And I'm like, That's Vulture. They're tying this to the MCU Spider-Man now, which is really interesting. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Yeah, I guess there's not really much else for me to talk about. I mean, everything else just seems like your basic superhero movie. You know, kid who was bullied in school, you know, has this terrible condition, and goes to cure it through unconventional means. That does actually look very interesting. I didn't know Morbius had some disease, or it's been forever again since I've seen those Spider-Man episodes. And again, I don't really know much about the character. But if he like got his powers because he was trying to cure some incurable disease in himself, that makes his character a lot more interesting to me. And I'm curious to see how that plays out. All this trailer really does is make me want to go look at the character some more and like read some more of his comics and do some more research on him, because he actually does seem kind of interesting now that I think about it. One thing I did remember about Morbius, at least from the cartoon, the Spider-Man cartoon, I don't know much about his comic book counterpart, but he's not necessarily a vampire. He has vampire-like abilities because he experimented with like bat DNA, or maybe he had some like, or it seems like in this trailer he got like cursed with some mystical stuff that gave him like bat-like powers. But he's not necessarily a vampire, but he has vampire abilities because of that genetic experimenting with bats. Just kind of like a Spider-Man has genetic powers of a spider, you know, even though he's not like a spider himself, like, which is interesting. So if I find it interesting that like he's like a vampire, but he's not a vampire. So that always interested me about the character, but I had not enough to, you know, look more into him, I guess. I guess all I have to say is I'm interested to see where this film goes. I'll probably end up seeing it. This definitely looks more interesting than Venom was, which is so weird to me. That a character who I didn't really care that much about, his movie looks more interesting than Venom, one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. Well, anyways, I hope you like this video. Sorry again, it's a very short one. You know, it's just a trailer, thoughts video. It's not even like a trailer reaction. It's not much else to talk about really, so this is all I got. But I hope you liked the video. Feel free to subscribe and maybe like the video if you liked the content that you saw. If you're new to this channel, I do a lot of different like discussion videos. I do movie reviews. I discuss other aspects of nerd culture. I plan on having tons more superhero like MCU movie videos, along with my Star Wars content and just whatever else I feel like talking about. So I look forward to that. Thanks for watching and hope you all have a great day.